Anderson. First and goal at the 7-yard line. Neal Anderson
is really one of the new wave of conditioning among athletes. A number of athletes have taken on the Roger Craig of the 49ers approach, almost like these African runners. They work so long and hard on conditioning to develop stamina. Neal has lost 10 pounds. He feels super, and in watching him work, I think he's going to have a great year. His off-season conditioning, plus that tremendous dedication he's got.
Anderson. First down at the 38 as Mike Ditka throws a wrinkle at the Cincinnati defense, an 11-yard gain.
A gain of 10. The Bears have first and 10.
Anderson runs so smoothly. Now, if he isn't another Peyton, I don't know. He may not have as long a career, but right now he's running just like Peyton did.
Well, that's really a strong statement. You think that he has that kind of talent? He could be another Peyton?
Dick, I think he'll make 1,500 yards this year, and most likely he'll continue to, with the conditioning program he's in, his attitude, and the respect that the rest of the players have for him.
Here's Anderson again, hit in the backfield this time as slashing through was Carl Zander. You know, back in that Super Bowl, you were trailing. Find out. Four wide receivers, they give it to Anderson.
Here it comes.
He can go all the way. And just coming over is Solomon Wilcox to bump him out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
Well,
what a play.
Right to him. This is the basic sweep out of the shotgun formation.
23.
Bengals looking for the pass. They're crossed up.
Great job by Bortz. Again, the big problem for the Bengals, they don't have strength at the defensive ends. They're smaller guys. So when they come up the field, they can be cut down. By the way, I just figured out the score.
37 left in the half. Draw, Anderson again. Jason Buck chasing the play. Number 99 got him around the ankles. Clock is running. The Bears not calling a timeout yet. No huddle this time.
That kind of judgment really costs.
He just wanted to see up close that name Tua Tagliaoa so he'd get it right.
On first down, Neal Anderson breaking into the clear. And down he goes at the Bear 47 as he tried to make a cutback. What an exciting young runner this is, Neal Anderson.
I've been saying, Dick, this guy is something else. Tremendous quickness. Decisive. And he took that thing. The only thing that saved Cincinnati was the pursuit by Thomas, because Thomas showed his speed. But look at this break. Look at this break. Up the field, straight up the field. That's all of Peyton right there. Now he's got good speed, but Thomas has got that sprinter speed to cut him off.
And the loose turf cost Anderson as he tried to make his cut. Anderson already over 100 yards, 108. Come right back after relinquishing the tie. Trail 14-7, misdirection, Anderson.
Oh, boy. They just caved in that side of the line. You're going to see a lot of that play.
Neal Anderson over 120 yards rushing, gets 14 on that carry.
I liked what he said about going to the Pro Bowl last year, his first time in the Pro Bowl. He said, I had a big year, 1,000 yards, and then I saw how the other all-pros, how hard they work, and that made me realize I can be even better by improving my conditioning off-season.
I think he was talking about Roger Craig, a new wave of conditioning among these great athletes. It's really making...
Neal Anderson. Cincinnati 47, a big gain of almost 7 yards.
Well, that's where Brad Muster comes in, that big 250-pound blocker. And Neal, with all his instincts, knowing when to hold on to the ball, when to go for the yardage.
Timeout, 2 left for Cincinnati, but that was a big gain for Chicago.
Well, again, it was Covert punching out on Buck, knocking him off the line of scrimmage.
Brad Muster, 25.
Doing a great job on Walker, cutting him down, and we got 8 yards out of it.
140 yards rushing. That's his best as a pro. one better than his game last year against the Packers. Here he is again. First down. There's the player of the game, Neal Anderson. Sam Whites and the Bengals could not stop Anderson.
He just took people with him. Great job by Covert. Nice block right here by Muster. But watch Anderson at the end of the play. Right down through people, just splitting people.
You had a chance to enjoy that with the Tom Rathmans and Roger Craig of your former world.
Well, these guys are comparable.
It's time for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. No surprise there. Mr. Neal Anderson of the Chicago Bears. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected throughout the NFL today. And what Anderson did was not the yardage. He just burned up 2 timeouts for Cincinnati. They have 1 left and only 1:29 showing on the clock.
Player of the game.
Because the whistle had blown. He's like blocking a windmill. Throws those arms. Anderson is open. Looks like about a foot shy. Fullington on the stop. Anderson says he has a touchdown. He comes out of the backfield on the left side. You see Tomczak take that 5-step drop. Hits him right up just outside the hash marks. Anderson catches the ball. That's a touchdown. They better review that one. I don't know how they cannot call it a touchdown.
Remember last year here against Green Bay when he was on the other side of the field and thought he had a touchdown, thought he stumbled into the end zone, and they went back and reviewed it and ruled it a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know how they cannot rule this a touchdown.
30 seconds, please. 30.
Let's watch it. He's coming right down the middle there. We'll see him right on the hash marks, running up the middle. He catches the ball. He has possession. Unless they say where his knee went down, the ball didn't break the plane.
Well, they're going to take another look. He did here was the fog game.
Upon further review by the replay, the ball crossed the goal line. It was a touchdown.
Touchdown.
Fans got to cheer that touchdown for about 3 minutes. And then kind of threw it neutral.
Well, he'll have a chance to throw it now. Maybe. And he gets it to Anderson, who takes a real wallop from Darrell Fullington, but Anderson's okay.
Well, Fullington tried to get the ball out of Anderson's hand after he was down. He was just a step late. If you're going to get the ball, you got to get there a step before that. What's 29? You'll see him come in there. That's a good throw. That's a heck of a throw between 2 defenders. See, Anderson has the ball. It's down. The play's over. Now quickness.
Plus, he's got on occasion, a mean temper. This is Anderson with a blocker in front. Anderson inside the 20. And another Bear first down. Bortz got the good block in front of him.
And Anderson set up Bortz, too. Bortz was the off guard. He's going to pull around and lead. He's the right guard. Watch him. He pulls around there. Now, Anderson has to slow up a little here. Let Bortz get his guy right there. See, just hold enough for him. Then Bortz gets a block. Then that frees Anderson for another 5 or 6 yards.
They're at the Viking 18, 1st and 10. Anderson. There's Muster, I beg your pardon. Anderson to Brent Musburger in New York for an update. Norton was on the move. This is Anderson. This is another Bear first down. David Howard on the stop. He gained 5.
Anderson looks like a different guy in the second half. He looks like he came out here with a little more fire in his eye. Or maybe they talked about it in halftime and said, look, if we're going to win this game, Neal Anderson has to run the ball. We have to win it that way. Because he's hitting in there a little quicker than he did the first half.
And he put himself through a very rigorous off-season training program. Sort of patterned himself after Roger Craig.
Yeah, he said in the past he had never done anything except play some basketball.
He said, I may not be any faster, but I am quicker. Anderson again. Joey Browner dragged him down after he picked up 7.
Well, that's what the Bears were talking about yesterday, to keep running Anderson, keep running Anderson. He's not going to get some, but if you stay with it long enough, he's going to get a big one. And I think he's waiting for that big one. I think he thought there that was as close to a big one as he's gotten.
He had his career record last week against Cincinnati. It's been tough going today, but he's starting to open things up.
You would never confuse the Cincinnati defense.
Anderson gets another carry and carries it, and some Vikings for enough yardage to get a first down. Dolman was the first one to get the ride.
This guy looks like he's enjoying it now. I'll tell you, a running back really doesn't get into it until you start running the ball. And an offensive line doesn't get in it until you start running the ball. Every offensive lineman.
There's from their own 39. That's Gentry in motion. Anderson. Curtis made the stop. Travis Curtis.
He is going to break one this second half. Look at this. In the first half, he was 2.6 per carry. In the second half, he's 5.5. I think part of that is Neal Anderson. I think part of that is the Bear offensive line getting a feeling. And part of that is the way the game's going.
And that Minnesota defense spending a lot of time
Up and throw when they've wanted to all day.
Yet they haven't had a sack all day, but there've been a lot of hurries.
Because they've been getting rid of the ball instead of taking a sack.
Anderson in the end zone. Attempt the extra point with Tom Zach holding. 17-7. The Bears lead it now.
Neal Anderson gets that touchdown, but I'll tell you, it was 2 big plays by Thomas Sanders for first down. It was a big catch by Matt Suhey to put him down here. And then on the goal line, great blocking by the Chicago Bears. Look at that. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They got everything moving backward. They got the lead man, Bortz, out there, and there was nothing for Anderson to do except run.
Anderson. Close to 10. Travis Curtis made the stop.
Anderson carried.
They get a good block on Merriweather. Watch 57 come to the outside. They have to get outside of him. The way you do that, you have to knock him out. Mustard does a good job. He blocks Merriweather to the outside, then Anderson can break inside that. That's one of the areas Brad Mustard had to work on, block.
What Hampton said about Mustard. Somebody asked him after the game if he said anything to him. He said no, but if I had had a knife, I would have stabbed him.
That's serious stuff.
Outside to Anderson. That should be enough for a first down.
Anderson, his whole second half, looks like he's just ready to break on anything. He runs here. He's going to come all the way across. He was a far guy. See him coming across the backfield, 35 here. He's a second back out to this side. He gets the ball up there, set up a runner, bounce to the outside, try and get enough room so he could cut back in, and he couldn't do it.
Inside the 40 now.
Bounce to the outside, try and get enough room so he could cut back in, and he couldn't do it.
Inside the 40 now. At the 38. He has scored both Bear touchdowns. Anderson, and again he almost broke it. Travis Curtis on the stop. He got 7. He has been the offense.
Well, I think he's been the offense today. I think he's going to be the offense all year. The big thing for Neal Anderson is, can they keep him healthy? He said he's in better shape than he's ever been in, although he's looked like he's looking for a little oxygen now.
Sanders comes in. Five minutes left. Anderson. Touchdown. Takes it in from 13 yards out, his third of the day. Butler will try the extra point. And the Bears have control of this one. 24-7 with just under 5 minutes remain. They had 10 first downs in the first 3 quarters. They've got 9 in the fourth quarter.
Had 155 of the Bears' 306 net yards last week.
It's about par for the course for the Bears. You know, the one thing they're always going to feature, as we said in the open, is they're going to feature the running attack. That's where everything starts for them. I feel that's the way you win football games, running the football.
Second down and 8 at the 38. For Tom Zach and the Bears. This is Neal Anderson. Great cut, first down to the 24-yard line. Again, it's Benny Blades who makes the tackle, but a fine pickup by Anderson.
Well, I tell you what, one of the things that really helps this play, so you get good blocking up front on the corner. Watch the right side of your screen. Good blocking up there by Jimbo Covert. Mark Bortz comes off, and Brad Mustard leads the play and gets a great block on Benny Blades. Takes him 10 yards down the field, carrying him all the way down there, and that allows the running back Neal Anderson to get those extra 4 or 5 yards.
Gentry in motion for Tom Zach. This is Anderson. Anderson has run out of bounds at the 28. He'll be a yard short of the first down. Well, so far in the ball game, every time the Bears. On first down, Anderson cuts inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Tripped up by Chris Spielman.
Neal Anderson in the running attack of the Bears, blocking up front. They seal off that corner. You see number 80, that's Jim Thornton, RoboCop on RoboCop. He was blocking Michael Kofer. Both of them have the nickname RoboCop. Both of them deserve it, too, by the way.
Anderson tap dances his way across the 20, almost breaks it all the way out to the 33-yard line. Finally stopped by William White.
Boy, that's a great stat.
Casey setting him up nicely with a little dink and
That's
dunk,
right.
as you
That's
mentioned.
the thing that sets up out both sides. Now work the downfield deep.
Second down and 4. Bears. Anderson breaks a tackle. Look out! Anderson inside the 30. He's gone. Touchdown, Chicago. 3 yards. Kevin Butler on to attempt the extra point. Tomczak will hold. And it's good. 12:31 remain third period. It's 27-13.
Successful. Watch Jim Covert and John Wojciechowski right there on their 2 men. They set this play up very nicely for Neal Anderson. Setting that pass protection look, break their men back. Now watch Wojciechowski right there with another block on Kevin Brooks. That allows Neal Anderson to get out around the corner. Jerry Holmes slips on the play, and Neal Anderson takes it to the coast for 6 points. You know, Neal Anderson dropped about 15 pounds this offseason. Got himself in that Roger Craig line of thought in terms of getting himself in condition. And it's really worked for him. You see him breaking a lot of long runs this season.
So it's second down, call it 11 at the 19. Lions have really had problems defensively today. This is Anderson. Big hole, breaks a tackle, and he's out to the 30. William White and Benny Blades made the tackle, and Blades has been some kind of active today.
I know at the half yet.
Chicago has been relentless offensively today. Look out, Anderson to the 10, to the 5, to the 2-yard line. Knocked out by Benny Blades. There is a
Throwing the ball, rolling out, really spreading the field against the Eagles defense.
The new tight end, Camposo, he was in motion. Anderson takes it into Eagle territory, a pickup of 5. Neal takes it to the 46. Evans and Harris in on the tackle. So the ground game in gear. The Bears leading the league in rushing. And also the couple of times that Tomczak has gone back to pass.
He's playing time together more than the offensive line, and the Bear 5, as they're known here in Chicago, have certainly gotten that over the years.
2nd and 5, Chicago at the Eagle 46-yard line. Again, great protection, and the pass is caught by Neal Anderson at the 41-yard line. He had to come back to get it. Eric Allen on the coverage, and he appears to be just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and less than 1.
Neal Anderson will work on the outside, just like Keith Byers, a setback for the Eagles. But again, look at this protection, Dan. You just touched on it. Perfect. You couldn't draw it any better on the board for him. They just dropped back, gave him all the time.
It was 5-on-4, so what do? They're going to go ahead and double team Reggie.
1st and 10, Chicago from the 40-yard line. A draw, and Anderson takes it out to the 49-yard line where Wes Hopkins knocks him down.
Nice call. 3 straight passes, then the draw. That's how to set it up. That is how to set it up. And really, the tackle Neal Anderson breaks to make it happen is Reggie White. Reggie White is all over Anderson in the backfield.
Neal Anderson already with 200-yard performances this year. Reggie White watching the Bears come up to the line of scrimmage on 2nd. This long drive starting inside the Bear 15 from the Eagle 22-yard line. Tomczak, a short drop. And they give it to Anderson for a 1st and goal to the 7-yard line on a drive that began back at the 14-yard line. Brad Muster throwing the block to Springham.
Hey, the Bears came out of this half. They were staggering around a little bit. The Eagles put together some semblance of drive, and then all of a sudden the Bears, taking over inside their own 15, have put together a beauty. Here comes Anderson, over 1,000 yards last year when he had his first shot at replacing the legendary Walter Payton. He can do it all, too. He can go out on the flank for you, come out of the backfield and catch the ball, and one of the fine runners in the game today.
4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Chicago up by 10. On 1st and goal, big hole for Anderson. He takes it to the 2.5. Stopped there by Al Harris. 2nd and goal.
Well, this is just an excellent example of how Covert, Bortz, Hilgenberg, Thayer, and Van Horn are now taking control of the ball game. The Bear offensive line is dominating the line of scrimmage. Let's take a look at this work up close. Hilgenberg moving to his left, Bortz coming on the trap. I mean, those are huge holes. Jimbo Covert coming in there, finishing off a block. Slam bam football coming right at you down at the goal line.
2nd and goal from the 2. Anderson, touchdown Bears.
That was a great looking drive. They did it all. Outside passing over the middle to the tight end, to the wide receivers, reading the blitz. Anderson judiciously used. And Ditka did it the way he would like to do it to Buddy Ryan. You're the defensive genius, he's saying to himself. Take this, Buster.
Yeah, nice and slow and painful. Nice,
but surgical.
Nice. Hey, what a good-looking move by Neal Anderson back to the inside.
Hands the ball to Anderson, and this is where the Bears are going to need that running game that led the league through 3 weeks to come back in full force.
A fumble by Anderson.
From the 43-yard line. Thornton goes in motion. And they give it to Anderson, and he picks up the first down. The money man takes it to the 38-yard line. Hopkins and Waters converge on the tackle.
Boy, a great call by the Chicago Bears. They know one guy here is going to be playing pass. It's this guy right here. Reggie White, watch him go all the way upfield. Here comes the trap to kick him out. A brilliant call on short yardage. Mark Bortz, Reggie White completely out of the play. Byron Evans can't make it, and that's a well-run trap play.
Pitch to Anderson. Colbert's out in front. And touchdown Chicago.
You called the block by Jimbo Covert and by Brad Muster, the fullback. 2 big blocks, and Neal Anderson just hugged the block of Covert. It's Jim Covert, number 74, come out and lead the way for Anderson. Anderson hugs that block and then bursts over, picked a nice block up by Brad Muster, the fullback as well. Nice little drive by Chicago.
When they beat the Rams.
Had to remind you.
Yes. Screen pass to Anderson. Where will they spot it? Racing down that left sideline. They spotted it.
Handoff to Anderson. And Anderson gets in for the Bears touchdown. Fifth touchdown rushing for Neal Anderson, who did a lot of that, if not all of that, on his own.
Well, especially at the end of this play, you're going to see Anderson get underneath Donnie Elder and Winston Moss and dive for the pylon in the corner of the end zone. Watch these 2 guys go right over the top. They miss him, and that's a touchdown for the Bears.
Kevin Butler.
But good luck, Art.
Hope somebody tapes this. First down on the 36. Neal Anderson. Superb running by Anderson. Breaks a couple of tackles, picks up 19 yards, and gets into Tampa Bay territory with Kevin Murphy making the stop finally.
Well, Anderson just shows tremendous patience as he looks for a hole to run through. Again, it's a sweep play with the underneath handoffs. They are out in front. There's one little hole, and now he makes one guy miss, and now he's down the sideline. Always stretching, making another guy miss. That's Robinson, who doesn't miss many.
With a lot of family and friends at this game, he says, I'm glad I only come down here once a year.
Yeah, he had to buy about 20 or 30 tickets.
2 tight ends. Neal Anderson, the back. Anderson going wide. He's in for the score. On 4th and 1, the Bears score a touchdown to make it 28-13. Neal Anderson with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
The Bears brought in extra offensive linemen also. Wojciechowski was in here, and Thayer moved to the left tight end spot. Now Muster is on the left wing there, and this is a lot of power up inside. They fake the ball up the middle, and then Anderson, all that is pure speed to the corner of the end zone for the touchdown.
Thornton is in the slot. On the wing on the right, first down, Bears. Pitches to Neal Anderson. Anderson gets into Tampa Bay territory and nearly gets a first down. Short by 1.5 yards. Irvin Randall and Rod Jones combined to bring down Anderson.
Wonderful job by Thornton as he comes in motion on this play, and he seals off the left side here. Here's Thornton, number 80, on the left side here, and watch as he goes in motion and gets this block on Winston Moss, and then allows Anderson, who really set up the block beautifully with a little dip there, and he gets around the corner and picks up 9.
Second down and 1 on the 28. The pitch again to Neal Anderson. Anderson powers inside the 20. The heat doesn't bother him. Close to another first down, and it will be for the Bears. Harry Hamilton, the free safety that time on the tackle.
One of the outstanding characteristics of Neal Anderson running the ball is how he accelerates through a little seam in the defense. We're going to take a look at it right here. Watch this little tiny hole, and he just lowers his shoulder enough to break the tackle, and he's flying up through there.
Basic football by the Bears, and Neal Anderson has gained 23 yards in the last 2 plays. And a first down for Chicago on the 17. Bucks lead 28-14. The Bears look. Here's Neal Anderson again. Crosses the 30 and a pickup of about 3.
Now, what Anderson gives you is he makes that first guy miss almost every time. That time, Reuben Davis had him dead in his sights, and a little shake of the hips, and Anderson's down the field.
56 yards and 2 of the 3 touchdowns scored by the Bears this afternoon. Pickup of 4. It'll be second down and 6 for Chicago. 2-4.
Type of athlete he is today. His first interception, he had to jump high and deflect the ball down to himself. This time he does a Greg Louganis out there on the field and makes the interception.
With a degree of difficulty pretty high.
Yeah, you bet.
A 9-5. Roger Riley, our statistician, informs us. He must know. First down on the 16. Konzak. Wide open was Neal Anderson. First down, Chicago, in a game that time of 12. Rod Jones covering.
We're really seeing the type of new age running back in Neal Anderson. Here's a guy that has the ability to be a 1,000-yard rusher out of the backfield, but he has also showed his versatility today and his importance to this offense by splitting out wide and becoming a wide receiver. That's 2 fine plays he's made as a wide receiver.
Talk about Dickerson and Roger Craig and some of the others. If he's not their equal, he's awfully close. Coming into the game, had completed the only pass he attempted for 21 yards. 4 wide receivers on the 38 of Tampa Bay. They're going to run the ball. Neal Anderson picks up about 5 yards that time. Anderson has scored 2 touchdowns today for the Bears, but they trail 40. Here's Anderson again with Thayer blocking. He gets the first down and runs out of bounds to stop the clock. Harry Hamilton on the play. 4:31 remaining. The Bears have all 3 of their timeouts from Anderson. He'll get the first down inside the 5 and very nearly scored. A 15-yard gain. Harry Hamilton on the stop and a timeout called by Chicago. They have 1 timeout remaining. Here's Neal Anderson, and he'll go in for his 3rd touchdown of the game. 3 touchdowns for Anderson, 86 yards on the day.
Just a simple pitch play to the wide side of the field, letting Anderson find where he wants to go after he gets the ball. Suey out in front with an outstanding block, and that's an easy walk-in for Neal Anderson.
42-30.
Harbaugh sends everybody out this time, has plenty of time, and has Neal Anderson at the 35. Anderson at the 42-yard line has the first down for Chicago. He was working on Eugene Marv and Rod Jones, a gain of 15.
Neal Anderson is playing with a broken finger, index finger on his left hand. He said, yeah, it makes it a little bit more difficult for him to catch the football and indeed to take it on the handoffs because the finger is very sensitive right now to the touch.
I wonder if it hurt him handling those cards, playing gin with Jim Harbaugh. For Chicago, 3rd down and 9 for Harbaugh. Close to the line of scrimmage again. This one's legal. Gets it out to Anderson. First down, Bears. A gain of 14.
Rod Jones had an opportunity to make the stop, came up on Neal Anderson. Neal gave him the old Matador treatment. Rod goes and gets grass stains on the front of his jersey, and Neal Anderson gets the first down and about 4 or 5 additional yards on the play.
He's got 26 catches for the year now. Anderson, the workhorse, right side, big hole down to the 30.
I'll tell you something. If you can get your guards pulling through the hole like the Bears did that time cleanly, then you're going to have some success on offense. Watch Mark Bortz here, number 62, pull through, and he's going to lead Neal Anderson downfield. Good blocking at the point of attack, though, on the right-hand side of the offensive line for the Bears. You see Dyko gets a nice block, drives his man into the turf, gets a pancake block, and that brings Neal Anderson downfield.
Chicago find out where that parachuter was going. Second sack of the day on 2nd and 18. This is Anderson. Gets outside to the 47-yard line. They'll mark it at the 48.
Two things they did right there. They got yardage on the run play. You wouldn't expect them to do that too much in a 2-minute situation, but Neal Anderson makes the most of it by taking the ball out of bounds after he gets as much yardage as he possibly can.
Thayer got a good block on the corner. Chicago has 2 timeouts remaining. A gain of 15. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Out of the shotgun. Anderson, he's got a convoy. First down into Tampa Bay territory.
Jim, this is the kind of thing, though, when you start establishing a little bit of a run situation now, you start getting a little bit of confidence. Even though the defense is set up to stop the pass, now you start running the ball. Suddenly the offense starts thinking, hey, maybe you never admitted if you did.
First down, Chicago at the 41. Anderson, left side, had a tough first half, got a hole here. He's loose. Inside the 20. He'll score. Anderson and Butler to add.
There's left side block down, the key block. Tom Thayer, number 57, on Robert Big Goth, number 94. Trap block in here. You see he tucks that shoulder up in there. That lets Neal Anderson outside. Neal Anderson with exceptional speed. The one difference everybody says between he and Walter Payton, he turns the corner and he is gone. 59 yards.
Tomzak is now 3 for 3. It's not enough for the first down. The clock continues to move near the 3-minute mark.
Now you're really working a 2-minute situation here, hurry-up offense, and now you want to try to work the sidelines.
Post-game defeat. Anderson wide open in the flat, and now 3 Oilers come up to get him. Bubba McDowell was there first, 11-yard gain, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
The Oilers are playing a pure zone, rushing 3 people. They didn't get Landry, the coordinator for the Bears now, because he picked up on this defense right away.
Anderson on 3rd and 3. They run it, and they've got a first down at the 32-yard line. Tracy. Neal Anderson tries the middle this time. Meads Gets him around the ankles after a gain of about 4.
This is the ideal defense for Neal Anderson because it's a 3-man line with both linebackers deep. He starts one way and then looks for a place to split people. And you'll just see him do that time and time again as long as the Oilers get in that basic 3-man line. It's ideally suited for Neal Anderson.
Well, you said in the season opener against Cincinnati, Bill Walsh, that you thought Anderson would rush for over 1,500 yards, and that indeed is his goal, he told us this week here in Chicago. And he's off to a great start, 530 yards, averaging 5.3 a carry. Rushing plays. First down, and Tomczak into the flat, and open is Anderson. And he's crushed at the 10-yard line. That'll be close to another first down.
Well, Chicago's doing things that they haven't done before that Houston hasn't seen. They have their motion man outside, sitting along the sideline. Houston's dropping into a zone and not accounting for him.
And at 3, and here's their chance out of the shotgun. The quickie to the outside to Anderson. Down.
We might have a pick play, Dick.
First quarter, Detroit 3, Tampa Bay 0.
Neal Anderson with his 9th touchdown of the year. Tomczak 5 for 5 on that drive. They had 3 third-down plays, and all 3 times it was Anderson. 2 on runs, 1 on the pass.
Here's the touchdown. You have a blitz on the outside. Anderson releasing to the outside.
On the run back.
And this middle linebacker should be covering it. You'll see no one covering Anderson in the flat. There's the blitz. There's Anderson. No one there.
And Anderson showing good hands.
See, good protection. There's the blitz right in the face, but Anderson's able to concentrate. Again, a good job by Mike Tomczak. He has begun to really master
perception. There's another one. And close to a first down. Neal Anderson. John Grimsley makes the tackle. We're in the final 2 minutes of the half. The Bears trailing 10-7.
Well, Jerry Glanville is going to have to go to an attacking defense.
Draw to Anderson. He's got some running room. Down to the 2-yard line. Neal Anderson. 20 yards for the brilliant former Florida star.
Well, you're going to see both of the Houston people splitting in a line charge. Anderson is going to split that and break to the outside in a beautiful play by his part. But both Houston defensive linemen widen, and up he comes, and you see Matt Stewie come through and just get a piece of the linebacker Grimsley. So Matt Stewie made the final block, but what they did was just split those 2 linemen who almost took themselves out of the play. Excellent call by Greg Landry upstairs. Excellent call.
Anderson, who has a touchdown on a reception already in this game, his 9th score of the year. In the half as the Bears go for the lead, and it's Neal Anderson outside. Touchdown, no. He's out of bounds at the 1. Anderson, who has such great sprinting speed. And it's deceptive on that size, 210 pounds.
He's got those quick feet. Somebody else that played for this team, same kind of feet. Look at him reach with that ball to hope he gets it over the goal line just the last second.
Yeah, shy. In fact, the ball at the 1-yard line.
You see, good blocking, but now his basic speed is going to do it. He's going to outrun people. He reaches with the ball, can't make it. I think he got a lot.
Yes.
You know, Dick, even with this cheering and this touchdown, this is the most excellent job of running the ball here, with Bortz coming around and blocking, and Brad Muster kicking out the defender, then Anderson breaking right between those 2 people. Very well executed. There's Bortz coming up through, cutting down his defender, Muster's block, and Anderson, of course, with that real ability to squirm between people, just avoids slightly and goes into the end zone. Nice job by Muster. Excellent by Bortz, who's really one of the fine players on his team. A Pro Bowl alternate last year. I'd assume that this year or soon he'll be a Pro Bowl player.
Anderson with 32 yards rushing. Has 2 touchdowns today, 1 receiving and 1 rushing, and he is the offense. 60 yards of offense from Charlie, as they call him. Charles Neal Anderson, his name.
It basically is a weapon.
So at the 37-yard line, first down, Chicago. Fake to Anderson. Tomzak on the screen to Anderson. And he's bumped out of bounds at the 43-yard line by... Dumps it off to Anderson. Good move by Neal Anderson, and he has a first down at the 50.
Well, this is Anderson's quarter. When you visit with him, all he talks about, because of his success this year, is his conditioning in the off-season. He's lifted weights, which he hadn't done in the past. His running regimen is different. He's running for more endurance. He's stronger. He thinks the fourth quarter is going to be his the rest of his career.
Interesting confidence in this man. You know, they picked him after that Super Bowl year, so the Bears had the last first-round pick. And no one selected Anderson, and they made an outstanding choice in this apparent star kick by Montgomery. Inside to Anderson. One of his better runs of the day. A gain of almost 8 yards before Richard Johnson defensive to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left. Now it's the Bears using Anderson, trying to chew up the clock. Oops. Anderson stays inbound for a while and then steps out of bounds at the 30. That will stop the clock. Jeff Donaldson, the closest Oiler, a 7-yard gain. That gives Anderson 63 yards for the day.
Well, he is as strong as he predicted to us. He's just taking the ball to them. There was no support that time by the Houston secondary, and that gave him that chance to just skirt to the outside.
Anderson shooting ahead for a first down across the 35-yard line. And the Oilers will use one of their timeouts right now and stop the clock with 3:12.
Houston, number 1. The clock operator, please reset the clock. 3:17.
Well, you're going to see some great blocking up front right here by Covert, taking his man down that line of scrimmage, number 74, right there. And meanwhile, Anderson breaks right behind the block. And with that skidding effect to his running, he's always falling.
Back of the Bears. Muster. Conservative call, or rather Neal Anderson out to the right side as the Bears decide they do not want to put it up, risk it, down by 7. Up goes the decibel count on 3rd down and 8. Again, the conservative call pays off as Anderson on the draw play gets out over the 20-yard line.
Oh, great call. You see the flag come in late, but if you're going to run a draw play, go right at the quickest guy, and this is not a good sign here for the Bears if Neal Anderson is hurt. But run that draw right at Michael Dean Perry. Ooh, and a face mask against Cleveland.
More importantly, look at this. Neal Anderson rolled over, obvious pain, and now is sitting up talking to the medical staff.
Number 29 defense, first down.
Face mask called against the Browns, Hanford Dixon.
Again, when we look at this thing on replay, though, you're going to see go right at Michael Dean Perry, the quickest guy. We're going to pick it up here on the end. Let's see if we can see the face mask. There was the leg go out from underneath. You can see the left hand by Dixon up on the face mask of Anderson. I wonder if that's where Neal Anderson hurt himself.
I wouldn't say for sure, Dan, but when that turf gave way, it looked like Anderson might have overextended his knee. And they're looking at him right now. We'll look again. Now watch him plant the left foot and watch the turf give way. Right there.
More often than not, Frank, when you see that type of a slide out, it's a stretched groin. That's the type of a move that puts a lot of pressure on the inside of your leg and your groin muscle.
We'll get a report, but he is walking without a limp to the sidelines.
And a giant sigh of relief is going up on the shores of Lake Michigan over in Chicago.
Anderson again will look from the end zone, finding that left foot. And right about there, Anderson was looking for a place to get on the carpet. He had the first down. Anderson is open. Neal Anderson over midfield, inside the 45-yard line, tripped up by Felix Wright. And this is made to happen initially by the solid pass protection up front. The Cleveland Browns did not get anywhere close to Mike Tomczak, who had plenty of time to sit there. And of course, one of the ways to do it is double team this guy, Michael Dean Perry. Jimbo Covert working in from the left, Mark Bortz. They just made him disappear. And even though Banks has an opening up the middle, Mike Tomczak had plenty of time to find Anderson coming across the middle.
So certainly the worries about Anderson have dissipated. As
guy Jim Harbaugh does here in relief.
Anderson on the first down. Good yardage over the right side as Anderson is up close to the 48-yard line. Hit there by Thane Gash.
Well, with over 13 minutes left in this ball game.
Good blitz down for the Browns. And a good call as Anderson explodes right up the middle, inside the 10. Gets it all back plus more and a first down. First down, goal to go.
You know, really, I'm surprised Cleveland is getting caught unawares with these quick plays up the middle. Just a trap, and my God, look at the size of that hole. I mean, you're going to be hard-pressed to ever find anything like that. Now, with Jim Harbaugh at quarterback, Frank, it's apparent to me that it's not going to be a high-risk passing game by the Chicago Bears. You'd expect a lot of draws, a lot of quick hitters up the middle. I don't know why the Browns are being caught flat-footed by it. This isn't Dan Marino going to shred them with a...
The handoff is to Neal Anderson, carrying the ball in his left hand. The hand with the broken finger, and he gets to the Packer 45, where Anderson and Holland, a couple of linebackers, make the stop.
But watch how he carries this ball with both hands to begin with, and then as he is about to get hit, puts it in his left hand, and then wraps the ball with his right hand over the top. Nice job of protecting the ball and knowing that he's got a bit of a limitation here with that left hand. There's the cover-up as he's about to get contact.
It'll be 3rd and 6. Out of the shotgun. The give is to Anderson. Neal Anderson gets a big first down. Close to the 10-yard line. Mark Murphy finally grabs a hold on him and a gain of 18 yards.
Well, this is why Neal Anderson is the leading rusher in the National Football Conference, as he breaks about 3 or 4 tackles coming right at you here, carrying the ball in his left hand, having trouble making sure there's a nice shift of the ball into his right hand. Great instincts.
And when he got up, he was shaking that left hand. It might have been jarred a bit.
This is what Neal Anderson is looking at as he grabs this pitch from Harbaugh. Wants to carry it in his left hand, but knows that's not a good idea. Takes it in his right hand, and the Packer pursuit keeps him to about a 3-yard.
Pitch again to Anderson. Gets around Harris, but is knocked out of bounds at the 17 by Chuck Cecil, who's alternating with Ken Stills at free safety today.
Here's number 97, Tim Harris. He's going to come in and fight off the block of Brad Muster. And then the old juke play there by Neal Anderson, and see you later, Tim.
Up front for the Packers on 3rd and 1. Anderson goes outside. And after much hard work, gets the first down again for the Bears at about the 40-yard line. Dave Brown ran him out of bounds.
Well, this is what Neal Anderson's all about. He's going to be running on here. He sees it all jammed up, and then he'll bounce it outside and just use his own athletic ability to pick up this first down. Slips one tackle there, and then now he has enough for the first down, going for extra yards.
He has gained 42 yards on 8 carries. Last week, Anderson didn't go over 100 yards in passing.
Whatever happened to the Bud Grant philosophy? Neal Anderson, he's got room, breaks the tackle, and gets near the 10-yard line. White made the stop at a first down, Chicago, at the 11 of Detroit.
This offensive line for the Chicago Bears has really caught a lot of flack and criticism. But as you watch here, they're very adept at hitting quick traps and opening holes. Tom Thayer, 57, gets a nice block on Spielman, 54, and Anderson uses a lot of great athletic ability that he's got just to make the extra yardage.
Anderson 1-2 with Detroit's Barry Sanders in the rushing department in the NFC. Mike Ditka quoted recently saying he's as good as any football player running the ball. I'll take him anytime, any day, anywhere against number 34 in that Viking jersey. Herschel Walker. This is Anderson. And this time the Lions shut him down. Got maybe a yard on the play.
Seeing they do have the number 2 rusher in the NFC in Anderson here. You see he's just behind Barry Sanders. He's off to a pretty good start, but I think they've got a real advantage throwing the ball against Detroit, because Detroit is so pumped up to stop the Chicago run from their first meeting. They feel the Bears really kind of drove the run down their throat last time they met in that 47-27 loss.
Yard line of Detroit. Anderson trying to get wide. Runs over Terry Taylor. Turned it into about a 4-yard pickup. And for an NFL replay, let's go to Brent in New York for one play with the injury to contact. 40-yard line now out of the shotgun. Screen. Anderson with a lot of room. Harbaugh was knocked blind. Anderson gets all the way to the 26-yard line before he's stopped by Jimmy Williams.
Harbaugh completed that screen, but he paid for it. That entire defensive front for Detroit was after him. Watch this right here.
They've got to have a win there. First down. Harbaugh, release man Anderson. Nice move by Anderson. He saw the cornerback Jerry Holmes slip, and he just dropped a gear and fired up the sideline, picked up about another 8-9 yards.
It was a nice run by Neal Anderson and a good heads-up play on that play right there by number 82, Wendell Davis, who got a little bit of a block, part of a screen, and set up that trip down the sideline.
32. Neal Anderson, wide open, standing in the flat, picks up an easy 7-yarder before Holmes came over to push him out of bounds.
The Bears utilized Neal Anderson a lot like Detroit and Wayne Font would like to be able to utilize Barry Sanders. Anderson doesn't have to just line up in the I formation behind the quarterback. He lines up in the slot on the right, he lines up in the slot on the left, and he almost acts as another wide receiver for the Bears. His hands are that good.
And he's playing with a broken finger in one hand as well, has had it for several weeks. Suffered in one hand as well, has had it for several weeks. Suffered injuries to both ankles in last week's game against Minnesota, but he's a strong guy. And he breaks upfield for the first down yardage and then some to the 44-yard line. Benny Blades finally stops him there.
Now here you are, you're right down on the field, you get a great shot. Watch there, 57. Good trap block on Kevin Brooks, number 97 for Detroit. Anderson reads it well, shoots upfield, Benny Blades brings him down. But there was the key to that play right there. Anderson had the patience to sit behind him until his guard made the right trap block.
Then from the yard, they'll throw it. Anderson. Bort's in front of him. First down, Bears inside the 25. Now for an NFL update. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Tampa Bay Buccaneers earlier in the year with that lead. I'm sorry, I mean the Houston Oilers late in the game.
Anderson, first down, Chicago to the 12. More action ahead on our doubleheader Sunday here on CBS. The New York Giants will be in Denver, and the Broncos, with a victory there, could clinch a home field right through the playoffs. Giants in that struggle with the Eagles in the NFC East.
Chicago has really seemed to sort of catch fire as an offense right now, and their confidence level has raised considerably, as has the interest level of the Chicago crowd.
Reese are running inside the 5. Well, we're watching two outstanding running backs at work today. Anderson stymied in the first half, but cranking it up here in the second.
Well, Chicago's into kind of a hurry-up offense, which is making...
Anderson, touchdown. So the Bears convert the blocked punt into a major score, 27-16.
This is a play that is designed to go all the way out to the left. Bort 62 pulls, but Anderson sees there's a hole up front and just takes the thing up the middle. Dennis Gibson, 98, is there to...
We're at their own 20-yard line. It is Muster and Anderson instead of Suey. That's Anderson. And he's out of the pack. And he could be off to the races. Neal Anderson tripped up inside the 10 by Mark Lee. He caught him at about the 6-yard line. 73 yards.
That is the way to come back. One team does it, then you get your offense and you just do the same thing. Neal Anderson, one of the top running backs this year in the NFL, has a good hold, good blocking over there by Bortz and Covert. And then he just breaks that thing. Watch the blocking, I formation, good man blocking. He just starts outside, cuts right back, hits that hole. Look at Mark Lee come. That's a heck of an effort, and catching Anderson from behind.
And Anderson came back to the Bear bench limping. He might have hurt his ankle when he was caught and limping.
You know, one thing that everyone says about Neal Anderson, though, all the players on his team, even the Packers, Tim Harris was saying it, Neal Anderson is a tough guy. Every running back gets hurt. I mean, it's a, you know, you pound in there all day, all season, they all get banged up. But everyone says Neal Anderson never shows it.
I know when you asked Mike Ditka yesterday, how's Neal Anderson, he said, well, you know, this time of year, when you get hit that many times, you take that kind of punishment, well, he's as good as you can expect for this time of year. 8-yard gain.
You see who made that block so Harbaugh could throw it? It was Neal Anderson. Neal Anderson's a lot like Walter Payton in that he's a great runner and does the running things, but he also does the blocking thing. Watch right in front here, watch your block Anderson makes. Boom! See, he takes down the rusher, and that gives Harbaugh a chance to throw the ball.
As Mark Murphy, he blocked 2nd and 2. It's 4 wide receivers. Gentry's back there with Harbaugh. Going deep for Anderson, touchdown. Perfect shot from Harbaugh. Between Mark Murphy and Tiger Green.
Watch Neal Anderson. He's out here split as a wide receiver on the outside. But watch what a great athlete he is and how easy he makes this catch look. He doesn't even look like the ball's thrown to him. He looks like it's just a walk in the park. And a cut Harris, I think he hurt that ankle that has been bothering Tim Harris. He hasn't been playing at 100%.
Third down, a blitz coming. It's to Anderson, midfield. First down Bears. Maybe. It's going to be close. Stopped by Mark Lee.
He's a nice guy. He's normal.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Yeah, no defensive player's normal.
Harbaugh gets to Anderson, and Anderson will score for the Bears. 49 yards out. The man threw a strike.
And I think Harbaugh, after he threw that...
For the Bears, 3rd and 3. They send Anderson in motion. They fake to Mustard, get the ball out to Anderson. He stepped away from 2 Green Bay tacklers. Toe dancing by Neal.
Hey, the first guy who misses is Chuck Cecil out there. We're just talking about Green Bay, a good tackler. But watch Cecil, 26, he comes up there, he misses, Anderson makes him miss, and then he gets the first down.
That'll make it 1st and goal from the 4. Anderson also made Murphy miss.
I think that official signaled touchdown.
We expected typical NFC Central game. Anderson, which would mean a low scoring. It surely hasn't turned out for that to be the case.
Well, one of the reasons the Bears are in this hurry up now is this is armed today.
4th and 5. Handoff is to Anderson. Got the first down and more. Inside the 30, there's Matsui playing his last